people they use condom for that house. So
Eh?
I would lie for it. People they going smooth way.
Oh, what?
I'm not the one that said it, oh. Fam, don't come for me. Don't come for me. You can see that it is culture that said it. And this one shook me. So the evicted housemates, Kuture, Thelma, Bright, and Joanna, they had a sit down with Naija FM. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of things were revealed. Most especially Kuture, he didn't hold back. Like from the video you can see. From Kuture dropping wild claims about condoms in the Big Brother house, to Bright clapping back at Faith, to Joanna calmly revealing details about Faith and Imisi that nobody saw coming, which I felt, she was pretty mature about it. This interview, as far as I'm concerned, is pure drama. But you see, I want you to look at it from this angle. It's not just gossip, it's strategy, it's branding. It has made it more obvious that almost everyone in the house was playing a game. And it's exactly the kind of content that changes how fans see the finalists and may have a way it will affect viewership in terms of voting. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the family, because if you want the real breakdowns and candid opinions that others creators won't give you, this is where you will get it. So let's quickly get into the business. In my opinion, Kuture is very, what's the word now? I'm trying to be careful. He can be said to be blunt, but I think he has a way of also over-exaggerating things. Now, I'm a fan of straightforward people, blunt people, people that say it as it is. But I think that even coming outside the house, you also still have to be careful what you say about people and about events, because when fans have access to this kind of information, trust me, it changes your perception about how you see a particular person. And in turn, it could change how people will vote for those that are still in the house. So imagine Kuture casually saying, them know they use condom for Big Brother house. Them they go in smoothly. That's a big statement too. And that one statement had the entire audio in shock. Now, the most surprising fact is that nobody there, Thelma, Joanna, Bright, none of them refuted what he said. None of them argued with him. None of them called him to order. None of them said anything. Now, he didn't even just stop there. He threw shades at Faith. I like Faith. And I'm not saying you must like him too, but Faith is a very great contender to win this season's program, right? And he sarcastically called Faith a peacemaker. Now, for fans who see Faith as this calm, grounded leader, that comment hits different. We all know that it's not everything that happens in the house that gets aired. And I don't know the formula or the criteria they use in deciding what gets shown to the public. But as human beings, we without emotion, we need to also look at things as critically as possible. He also addressed the cigarette drama between, I think, Damboskid and Bright, and basically saying he handled each day depending on vibes and not strategy. Well, he's out of the house anyway, so his opinion on who wins or doesn't win, well, doesn't really matter 100%. It's just his opinion, as well as every other person has their own opinion. But what is Kuture telling us here? He's basically telling us he's not intimidated and that he played the game like vibes only, but also that his sarcasm is still feeding into Faith versus everybody. Like, it's obvious there's something going on between them, or there was something going on between them. And this is someone that Faith is praising still in the house. Yet this guy is outside and not really painting Faith in a very good light. Now, please don't get me wrong. I am not supporting only Faith. I'm supporting whoever is the best person and most credible person to win. But without any bias, Faith is one of the most credible people to win. So if you disagree with me, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So moving on. So here comes Thelma. Now, there's something I also want to point out. You know, when people get interviewed after leaving the house, they like giving off this impression that, well, it is what it is. I enjoyed my time there and all that. They try to mask the fact that they are feeling bad. They are no longer in the house. Tell me, is there anyone that would have not liked to win the prize money? I mean, even me, if I were in the house, I'd want to win. So I've not seen anybody come out like in a way to say, oh, I wish I was still there. This is what I learned. This is what I could have done better. They're all coming out claiming like they were all in the right. Anyway, Thelma she did well. Kudos to her. She composed herself well. And it's obvious from the interview that her family was happy to have her out. I mean, she mentioned several times about her father, so I guess her family was in support. She was okay with leaving anytime, according to her, and she just focused on enjoying the house. Okay. She was lively, bubbly, and was talking about Kaikumi, why she chose him, and the fact that they knew each other before BBNaija, and the fact that she was aware people felt somehow about their relationship, but she already had a relationship with the guy, not a ship kind of relationship now, just like friends. So for her, it wasn't about beef or drama. It was about the experience and being authentic. And I guess that's why basically fans loved her energy. So for her winner prediction, she predicted that Mensah should win. Well, I don't know. What do you think about that? Why would she have mentioned Mensah of all people? Anyway, kudos to her. She did well at the interview session. Not anything overboard, but it was okay. But just tell me what you think. Moving on to Bright. He had his own fire moment. I was so excited for this particular one because I really wanted to hear what he would say about Mayday. And considering all the brouhaha and drama going on social media about him and his Americana girlfriend. So when asked about Mayday, he flat out refused to give first of all, let me talk about what he was saying about Faith. So he was very adamant about not giving any validation to the issues he was having with Faith. He wasn't trying, he didn't want to play into that narrative. I could see him withholding himself a lot during the interview. He didn't want to say too much. But he did speak about the near fight incident he had with Faith when he raised the fist. And he said Faith was disrespectful to him. Well, we probably didn't see all that on the camera, but that's what he was trying to explain. And he reflected that he wasn't so happy about the way Faith handled issues while they were in the house. That maybe that's Faith's strategy, but anyway, that's all good. And he was talking about the reality show, not having any regrets being in the reality show. He had to learn, unlearn, and experience a lot. These are things he had already repeated on his interview with Ibuka. So the mix of confrontation and reflection shows why Bright was both loved and criticized. And in this interview, he doubled down on his stance. His winner prediction, he gave Imisi the upper hand, though he later mentioned Mayday. I think he was just trying to be diplomatic. On the whole, I think he had a pretty good presentation, but he was so obviously trying to be careful with his words. But he knew he needed to give the media something. And regarding Mayday, he didn't deny her, which seems good to an extent. He wants her to win for both of them. I don't know what that means. Maybe they'll share the money. Anyway, on a grading of 1 to 10 for his interview session, I think I'd just score him a 6. For Kuture, I'd give him a 4. No offense, but I don't think he did well. And then for Thelma, I would say she did a 7. She did a 7. She did well. She did well. And here comes Joanna. Calm, fluid, classy. Girl, you aced the interview. She was wise. She showed wisdom. She praised Big Brother's casting for bringing diverse personalities together. She said the house was a learning process, and even outside the house, she's still learning. She didn't shy away from the subtle revelations. You know, she said Faith never actually told her he liked her. Well, I was not there. And that even though fans were speculating, because you know they are not aware about our own speculations outside, but she said in the house Faith never came out straight, and that, you know, he's very good with words, but he never really said anything straight. We don't know if that is true or not, but this is what she said. And about Imisi, because you know it's like they never really got on together, she said there's no malice, they just have two different personalities. Her winner prediction was Faith, and I really appreciate her for that. I mean, irrespective of whatever had happened between them, you know, she was bold enough, considering all what Kuture had been saying and how Bright was not really into Faith. She came out boldly to say Faith deserves it, straight and clear. So these are my thoughts. When you piece this interview together, what do you see? Culture, controversy, and sarcasm. Thelma, joy, positive vibes, trying to balance herself. Bright, confrontation, no regrets, diplomacy. Joanna, calm, poise, and wisdom. And another thing is that when each of them was asked about who they think the winner was, I mean, 4 of them, we got 4 different answers. Mensan, anybody, Imisi, Faith. So this interview wasn't just a chat. It was a mirror of how fans themselves are split. Now, here is the brand lesson. Your narrative follows you. Even outside the house, these evictees are still shaped by the brand they built inside. Thelma's bubbly joy, Joanna's calm, Bright's honesty and diplomacy, and even Kuture's sarcasm, fans connect with what feels real. Every platform is a stage. The house was one stage, the interview is another stage. This just means that the show never ends, it just keeps moving. So the question for you is, who do you think came out stronger in this interview? I'd like you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video, because the BBNaija 2025 drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. There's still lots more that is going to happen.